Yes, folks, it's Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton. Do please like and subscribe. And leave me your comments, if you will, down below, requests, whatever you've got. I don't know if you've been watching this channel, but the other day I predicted, I think, that there was going to be, Israel was going to bomb Iran. And absolutely spot on. You're thinking, where did I get the information from? Well, one of my clients is a rabbi, and he'd been asking me for some time, when is Israel going to bomb Iran? So I said, I think he's going to bomb Iran on the 12th of June. And on the 12th of June, Israel bombed Iran. And what happened last night? Ballistic missiles in the middle of Tel Aviv. What to expect, folks? And at the end of this broadcast today, I'm going to sing you an anti-war song by Bob Dylan, Masters of War. So I do hope that you'll hang on for that. And even the goat likes it, don't you? Yes, it's all about war. So I hope you're going to hang on for that. I'm going to talk today about recruiting prison staff, because it seems that one of the big mistakes that is being made by the Ministry of Justice is that they're hiring staff at the lowest possible rates that they can do so to staff the prisons. And of course, what they're getting are people who are, well, I know that they try. Listen, I've been there and done it. And you go in there and you do your very best. And I'm sure that 99% of all the prison staff are doing that. There are one or two, the Hostess Brigade, that are being misled and backscuttled in the cells and persuaded to smuggle drugs in, etc., etc. But one of the big issues is, just give me a sec. Just let me get rid of this. Yeah. Alright, I've got rid of that now. It's a pest, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, what's basically happening is they're recruiting staff who are willing to work at basic rates of pay. Certainly in the private prisons, that's what's happening. Because they're losing control of the landings. And it's on the landings where the decisions are made and the tone of the prison is set. But when you lose control of the landings, all the rest collapses. Now, the way it worked back in the 60s, 70s and 80s was quite a large number of the staff were ex-military. Now, if you've been an ex-military NCO, they usually recruited ex-NCOs. They were accustomed to giving direct orders, And you don't mess about in the army, you can't. Your life depends upon it, When you say, right, you, over there, 2 machine guns, yeah, number 1 and number 2, over there. Number 3, yeah, submachine guns, you're coming with me, yeah. And that's how you organised it. And they did it because they knew that what they were doing was likely to cost them their lives if they didn't follow it. And you were trained, and you're properly trained, and you knew how to give orders. And you didn't mess about. If anybody said, I ain't doing that, well, in my case, I used to just snatch them. Come here. Telling me you're doing that, And, of course, there was the guard house. You could always send for the guard, and they'd take them to the guard house and put them in. But I never did that. I never had to do that. I basically, they knew the people at the army, individuals, the soldiers I was working with, that I knew what I was talking about. I mastered map reading at an early stage, very early stage. I knew exactly where we were. I could memorize the maps, just by looking at them, and I knew where I was going. So when I said we were going to do it, and we were going there, that's where we went. But today, what they've got on the landings, and it's the same in the prisons, that inmates in the prisons have to respect the staff. And there is no respect these days. one of the big problems that you've got with the population of the prisons is that they are being allowed to form themselves into cliques, groups, gangs, name whatever name you want to use, and these gangs are not following the instructions of the staff. Oh, go on, piss off, we ain't doing that. What are you going to do about it? Well, I know what I used to do about it. Okay, I'm going to tell you one more time, get in your cell, or I'll put you in your cell. And that's what I used to do. Didn't matter how big they were. Nope. Didn't matter if it was Paul Sykes, didn't matter who it was. If I said get in your cell, Frankie Fraser, yeah, went in his cell. He went in his cell and he started shouting at me, "You're nothing but a screw." I said, "Yeah, I am the screw that's locking you up." Bang, yeah. So, believe me, there's no respect anymore, and they don't have the big boys to back it up. So what can they going to do about it? They can't recruit at that rate. They've got to pay people a proper amount of money to work in very dangerous conditions. They've got to secure the boundaries of the prisons. They can't even secure the bloody borders into our country. But they've got to secure the prisons. If they can't secure the prisons, we're lost. Believe me. And because of the new technology, the drones and all that, as I said the other day, you've got to put netting over the jails and sophisticated barriers at the windows so that they can no longer access the prison cells through dropping drones down. And of course the drugs, anybody that's caught smuggling drugs into the prison, well, I think there should be a minimum sentence of 10 years. But 10 years in a remote location. And, as I previously said, what we really, really need is a supermax prison on somewhere like the Falkland Islands, the Chagos Islands. I mean, where are we going to put it? Stick it out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the French used to do this, didn't they? They had Devil's Island. Don't know if you've ever read Papillon. Yeah, people wouldn't volunteer for that, would they? And if the inmates knew that that's what they were going to get when they transgressed, they wouldn't really want to do it, would they? They'd think very, very carefully about that. As for the rehabilitation of inmates, absolutely, people should get sentenced to a maximum sentence of, say, 10 years, which can be reduced when they earn credits as they go through. And the people who are intellectually impaired or mentally incapacitated shouldn't be in prison in the first place. But that's what we're doing because we no longer have the high security institutions. Don't have them all over the country. They used to have them. We used to call them workhouses at one time. So what they're going to do, Ministry of Justice, you need to pay a proper rate of pay. I don't know, the minimum rate is what, £12 an hour? So double that, pay them £24 an hour. Yeah, start it off at that. You'll get people queuing up then. You'll get some big boys queuing up and they'll do the job. You're not trying to recruit villains and thugs, but you are should be trying to recruit people who, when they say, you do that, the inmates think, well, I had better do that, otherwise retribution is coming my way. And it's that time of day, folks. It's a song dinger. I did tell you I was going to sing, and this may not be the greatest rendition of it, but then again, Bob Dylan didn't have a great voice either, did he? But he's a brilliant poet and songwriter, and as it's very apt, but I was going to do Eve of Destruction, but I did that the other week. So I'm going to do Masters of War by Bob Dylan, because we are definitely heading in that general direction. Stand by. Here we go. And America will expect us to join in, you know. I'm just a little bit past it. Are we ready? Masters of War. Come, you masters of war, you that build the big guns, you that build the death planes, you that build all the bombs, you that hide behind walls, that you hide behind desks. I trust you want to know I can see through your mask. You've never done nothing but build to destroy. You play with my world like it's your little toy. You put a gun in my hand and you hide from my eyes, and you turn and run farther when the fast bullets fly. Like Judas of old, you lie and deceive. A world war can be won. You want me to believe, but I see through your eyes, and I see through your brain, like I see through the water that runs down my drain. You fasten all the triggers for the others to fire. Then you sit back and watch while the death count gets higher. You hide in your mansion while the young people's blood flows out of their bodies and is buried in the mud. You've thrown the worst fear that can ever be hurled, fear to bring children into the world, for threatening my baby, unborn and unnamed. You ain't worth the blood that runs through your veins. How much do I know to talk out of turn? You might say that I'm young, you might say I'm unlearned, but there's one thing I know, though I'm younger than you, that even Jesus would never forgive what you do. Let me ask you one question. Is your money that good? Will it buy you forgiveness? Do you think that it could? I think you will find when your death takes its toll, all the money you made will never buy back your soul. And I hope that you die, and your death will come soon, and I'll follow your casket by the pale afternoon, and I'll watch while you're lowered down to your deathbed, and I'll stand over your grave to make sure that you're dead. Yeah, Masters of War, written by Dylan Thomas, and I don't know if I massacred it, but massacre is what's happening now. Stand by for action. Tales from the Jails with John G. Sutton.